Hello DigiFam, it is Prodigious, and in this quick little video we're going to be going over some more matchups in part of our Digital Gate tournament that we're having on our channel. So as you know, we were having a Digital Gate tournament on here. I have over 64 decks that I've built and had featured on my channel, and some of these I have not had featured on my channel yet. And we're having a big old tournament over. They fight against each other and see who wins. The way it works is there's going to be at least 4 rounds before we even determine top 16. If you win, that deck gets 6 points. If that deck loses, it gets 2 points. It does another battle, and so on and so forth until it manages to climb up the ranks. Alright, now let me bring up my randomizer here, and we're going to continue on from where we left off. Okay, and we're ready. Alright, so as you can see here, I have my randomizer all set up. This is the remaining decks to be matched up against each other. Let's give it a spin, and just as last time, I'm going to do this enough to see what our next 7 matches are going to be. Alright, so let's go ahead and give her a spin and find out. Alright, it's going to be the very cranky Belphamon X Demon Lord deck going up against we're going up against Impildramon Blue-Green. Now, this version of the deck is the one that you see most commonly ramming around here that has the partition and all that. So, let's see how that matchup will go coming in the future. Alright, give us a couple of shuffles to mix things up and give it another roll to see what our another pairing is going to be. Alright, we have 3 Great Angels. Now, there for a good long time, just like how the 7 Great Demon Lord deck was floating around, the 3 Great Angels deck was also very powerful because it could just pop down those level 5s very quickly, evo up very quickly, slam down those aces, and just control the board, especially with the powerful Dominimon. Alright. And its opponent is going to be this is actually going to be quite fitting. It's going to be literally a battle of angels. It's going to be Lucemon X versus the 3 Great Angels. Who will come out on top? Both of them like to recover, but also like to use up their shields to go ahead and survive the matches. So that could be a very long but interesting game. Alright, going into our third pairings. It is going to be that classic virus that just cannot stay down. It is Diaboromon. Now, Diaboromon, as of late, has seen a lot of power given to him, so that way he can flood that board with copies of himself. Maybe even go ahead and just hard slam that Apocalypmon type of Armageddonmon. That's the one I'm thinking of. God, got my names mixed up. Armageddonmon. So yeah, let's see who he will be facing off against. Oof. That is going to be one very cold and brutal match. That's going to be up against Hexablaumon. Now, I believe that was one featured on my channel. It is a very strong deck. Strip those sources and freeze you in place. Even gets to a point of where battles don't even go based off of DP anymore. It goes based off of how many sources you have in your stack. So, that's going to be very brutal. Alright, give it another couple shuffles to mix things up. Our fourth pairing. Ooh, we have the newest mega form that comes from Digimon Frontier. That is Magna Gururumon. This super evolved form of, let's see, I believe it is darkness, light, mixed with thunder and lightning. But yeah, whew, Magna Gururumon. Who will he be up against? Let's find out here. Oh, he will be going up against the classic D Brigade. Now, this deck will have a couple of Digi-Police stuff in it, but for the most part, it is straight up classic D Brigade. Alright. Now let's go ahead and shuffle these up some more. We're going to go into our fifth pairing. And keep in mind, we're still only in round 1 of this tournament. And it looks like it's going to be Creepymon. Now, it just got announced not too long ago that in the upcoming BT24 set that we will get here around January, I believe, Creepymon will finally get his X antibody form. And outside of a Gudamon for the 7 Great Demon Lords deck, that means all the Demon Lords will have access to all their X antibody forms. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see. Who will he be using his Wrathful Milling powers on? It looks like it's going to be Ancient Gururumon. Alright, so not too long ago on our channel we did the matchup of Ancient Gururumon versus Dark Knightmon. And ironically, the Dark Knightmon managed to hold out and do very well. But now it's going to be Ancient Gururumon versus the Wrathful Demon Lord. So I wonder how that will go. Stay tuned and we'll find out. Alright. So far we've got Belphimon versus Impildra, 3 Great Angels versus Lucimon, Diaboromon versus Hexablow, Magna Gururu versus D Brigade, Creepymon versus Ancient Gururumon. So that's our first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches. Let's go ahead and see what the remaining 2 matches are going to be. So we're going to have... Ho-ho! Looks like it's going to be Sakuyamon. Now, initially, I didn't know how far along Sakuyamon was going to make it in this tournament, because when I started this, the advanced deck hadn't come out yet, but the advanced deck is now out. So that means Sakuyamon has a whole new package that she can play with. So we're going to have to really see what all is going to be up against her to determine how bad this could be for her, or how much in favor it could be. Alright, so Sakuyamon will be facing up against... Ooh, now this is a fun little deck that I have built as of late. It is Warping Impmon. The way this deck works is it's not your typical Beelzemon deck. It focuses mainly on just Impmons. You do not evo into any level 4s or level 5s. You focus on using card effects to allow you to go straight from Impmon to Beelzemon, like true Digimon Tamer style. So this will be a very interesting and fun match. You have the Sakuyamon versus Impmon. Alright, now let's give us a couple more shuffles And we're going to see what our last matchup is going to be on today's segment. Alright, so we're going to have Fenrilugamon. Now, Fenrilugamon was part of the webcomic web series they had that features stuff like Sons of Chaos, and I believe there was another one called, name escapes me at the moment, but I'll think of it later. But yes, Fenrilugamon is the great wolf that we've gotten in the past. Let's see who he will be facing off against. Alright, so Fenriluga will be facing off against Woo! Okay, so black and red mix, but basically Black War Greymon X. Now, Black War Greymon got a big power boost thanks to the EX10 set, the All Villains set. So he has access to an Ace level 6, as well as a bunch of new tools that help him control the battlefield. So, both decks like to try and control the battlefield and have rather multiple bodies on board or just one big one. So that's going to be a very interesting powerhouse match. But that has been it. That is our segment for today. Look forward to these new matches. And remember, if you like this kind of content, please make sure you like, comment, and definitely subscribe so you don't miss any of this when it goes live. And I also want to go ahead and throw out there, I wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays. As we head into the new year, Digimon this past year has had quite a few great things happen. We've gotten a brand new game, we've gotten a brand new anime, there's even talk of Ghost Games getting a dubbing out in the UK, and if I'm not mistaken, there's also going to be a dubbing being made in the works for the newest Digimon Beat Break anime that we are got now. So lots of good things to look forward to as far as Digimon is concerned. But as I've announced recently on my channel, I am trying to get back into doing some more videos more often, and this is my way of doing just that. So having a nice big tournament. It's mostly casual stuff, but there is going to be some meta contenders in here. So make sure you watch and see just what black horses might come out of nowhere and do surprisingly well in certain matchups. But anyway, this has been Prodigious, and I will see you next time.